Very good morning, students. Today we continue our lecture with a new chapter, and that is Unit 6 Matrices. Okay, so let's start. What is matrix? That you already learn in your school days, right? So a set of mn elements, a set of mn elements arranged in a rectangular array where m rows and n column is called matrix of order m by n, and that matrix is usually written as, see here, m rows. So this one is number 1 2 3 up to m row, and n column, so 1 2 3 up to n column. So the first elements, that is a11, okay, that is normally denoted by aij, I row and j column. Here first row first column, so it is denoted by a11. First row second column a12, first row nth column a1n, and similarly first mth row first column am1, m row second column am2, and mth row and nth column, that is amn. Okay, so in general we define matrix by this way, right? Now a row matrix, a matrix having only one row and any number of column. See, a matrix having only one row, see there is only one row, right? And there are total 3 columns. But matrix having only one row, any number of column is known as row matrix. Column matrix, a matrix having only one column and any number of rows. See that here is one column. Rows are 3. This one is first row, second row, and third row. It may be 1, 5, 7, 6. Doesn't affect the number of rows. But having one column, that type of matrix is known as column matrix. Null matrix, a matrix whose all elements are 0, is known as null matrix. The next, square matrix, a matrix in which the number of rows is equal to the number of column. See here, number of row is 1 and 2, number of column is 1, 2, both are same. So order of matrix is what? 2 by 2. And in the second one, order of matrix is 3 by 3. In this, number of row is 3, number of column is 3. So if both are same, that type of matrix is known as square matrix. Diagonal matrix, a square matrix whose all elements are 0 and at least one diagonal element is non-zero. See, a matrix in which all elements are 0 and at least one diagonal element. Here diagonal elements are what? 2 and 4. So it may be like 2 0 0 0. In this case, at least one diagonal element is non-zero, then that type of matrix is also diagonal matrix. Okay. Next, unit or identity matrix, a diagonal matrix whose all diagonal elements are unit. See, this is the diagonal elements whose all diagonal elements are unit. Then that type of matrix is known as unit or identity matrix. Scalar matrix, a diagonal element, a diagonal matrix whose whose all diagonal elements are equal. See this one, whose all, the given matrix is diagonal. What does it mean? It means except the diagonal elements, all other elements are 0. And if all diagonal elements are equal, then that type of matrix is known as scalar matrix. Upper triangular matrix, a square matrix in which all elements below the diagonal are 0. See, this is our diagonal elements 1, 5, and 3. And in square matrix, if below the diagonal elements all are 0, then that type of matrix is known as upper triangular matrix. lower triangular matrix. A square matrix in which all the elements of above diagonal are 0, then that type of matrix is known as lower triangular matrix. Transpose of a matrix. A matrix obtained by interchanging rows and columns. If we interchange, see, our first row is first column is 103, that we convert into the first row 103. Second column is -1 2 1. If we convert it into the second row. So if we interchange row into column or column into row, that type of matrix is known as transpose of matrix. Symmetric matrix. A square matrix is called a symmetric matrix if A equal to A transpose, right? So this is our A. What is transpose matrix? If I convert this row into the column, then I have 1 4, and second row into the second column, then 4 8. See, both are same. So if any matrix which satisfies this condition, matrix and its transpose, if both are same, then that type of matrix is not known as symmetric matrix. One matrix is there, that is skew symmetric. That is skew symmetric. And that is if A equal to minus A transpose. Okay. So if this condition satisfy, then that type of matrix is known as skew symmetric matrix. Determinant of matrix. If A is square matrix and the determinant of A is represented by, I think you already learned this determinant in your 11th, 12th standard, right? So for this matrix A, determinant is 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 0, and there is determinant sign. The next, the interchanging, see, this is the elementary row operation on matrix. So, students, till yet we learn different kind of matrix, right? Now, this is the elementary row operation on matrix. So, the first operation is interchanging of any two rows. That is interchanging of any two rows. We can find the row operation on matrix by interchanging of any two rows. Now, what I'm going to tell you, please listen carefully and please see carefully. It will help you for the solution of the example. Okay, so suppose I write here Rij. What does it mean? R denote for row, I for ith row, J for jth row. The meaning of this symbol is I'm going to interchange ith row with jth row, right? So interchanging ith and jth row, right? So similarly, if I write R2, 3, if there is a matrix, and if I write here R2, 3, what does it mean? R2, 3 means I am going to interchange second row with third row. Got it? Now, the second operation. That is the multiplication of the elements of any row or column by any non-zero number. That is, suppose I am going to write here KRI. KRI. K is my any non-zero number. Ri means my ith row. It means, listen carefully. What does it mean? It means multiplication of ith row by this K. Multiplication of ith row by this number K. Right? And the next, the addition or subtraction of K times the element of a row or column to the corresponding elements of another row, where K is not equal to 0. See, this is also most important. Suppose I am going to write here Ri plus KRJ. Okay, what does it mean? Suppose I am writing here Ri, Ri, semicolon, Ri plus K, R, J. Now, the meaning of this term is here I have to multiply all elements of jth row by k. I have to multiply all elements of jth row by k. And whatever answer I got, whatever elements I got, I have to add into the ith row. Okay, let here suppose I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 0, 1, and this is 2, 1, 1. Okay, so suppose I am writing R2 plus 2R3. Okay, here I am writing R2 plus 2R3. What does it mean? Here I have to write my first row as it is. This is my first row, 1, 2, 3, right? Now, for second row, I have to multiply third row with 2. Whatever element I get, I have to add in the second row. So if I multiply this 2, my third row is what? 2, 1, 1. If I multiply by 2, so this is 2, 2s are 4. 4, I have to add in the second row. Here are 2. So 4 plus 1, that is 5. Here I have to multiply third row with 2. So 2 ones are 2 plus 0. So 2. Here again I have to multiply this third row by 2. So 2 ones are 2 plus 1. So 3. Okay. And R3 keep it same 2, 1, 1. Students, any doubt for this? Please let me ask in the chat box. It is really most important for the solution of the example. Without this kind of operation, you cannot solve any example. So please let me know if you have any doubt. Okay. So no doubt is there, right? Now, okay. Now, elementary matrices. A matrix obtained from a unit matrix by subjecting it to any row or column transformation. So this is the same if we have any unit matrix, and if by the operation of this kind of elementary row operation or column operation, if we get any other matrix, that is elementary matrices. The second one, equivalence of a matrix. If B be an M cross N matrix obtained from an M cross N matrix by elementary transformation of A, then A is called the equivalent to B. See, there are, suppose this is our given matrix, right? So if I write 2R1, if I write 2R1, right? Then my matrix is what? If I multiply this R1 by 2, this is 0, minus 2, 4, and 6. All other rows are keep it same, right? Then this kind of matrix is known as equivalence. These both matrices are known as equivalence matrix. So there are different kind of elementary transformation. Here I have multiplied the first row with 2. Okay. Similarly, I get other equivalence matrix by adding 2 rows or by subtracting 2 rows. Okay. So by doing any elementary row operation or column operation, we get equivalent matrices. Now, the most important thing for this chapter, that is row echelon form, and the next one is reduced row echelon form. Listen, students, this is the most important, row echelon form, and the next is reduced row echelon form, right? And listen carefully, in this chapter all the topics are correlated with each other. Okay, so if you skip one topic, you can't understand the other one. So please try to listen and understand every topic. Here, the row echelon form. properties. What is row echelon form? I'm going to teach you the row echelon form with the help of these examples. See, these all examples are row echelon form. So every zero row of the matrix A occur below a non-zero row. Okay, every zero row. See, in the first case, what is our zero row? See, last one is our zero row. Every zero row occur below. It is below in the non-zero row, right? Non-zero row is first, second is also non-zero row. The last one is zero row. For second example, here, this is all are non-zero. Okay, but there are 2 0. So that is in the denominator. There is 1 0. That is in the least side, and 1 0 that is upper, and every non-zero elements are in the first row. For this example, number of 4s are there, right? So that is in the last one. This is upper end. So first property is every zero row of matrix A occur below a non-zero row. First simple thing is there. The second one, first non-zero element, non-zero number from the left of a non-zero row is a 1. This is called leading element 1. Listen carefully. See, in this case, our first row is non-zero row and your first number should be 1. For second, and this leading element, it's below elements. Below element must be 0. Below element, this is known as leading element, and below element of the leading element must be 0. For first row, this one is leading elements, and the below element of this leading element must be 0. For second row, this is our leading element, and the below elements of this leading element must be 0, right? And here is all are 0. So same thing is in this case. For first row, this is our leading element. It is 1, and the below element of leading element must be 0. For second row, this is our leading element. It is 1, and below elements must be 0. Now this is not, see, every row has only one leading element, right? Every row has only one leading element. And the third row, this is leading element. Now the matrix is complete. So no need to check further. For this one, see here we have a one column that all elements are 0, right? You can interchange it. You can write this is like 1, 3, 5, 0, and you put this 0, 0, 0 in the last. It is okay. Then 0, 1, minus 1, 0, and this is 0, 0, 0. This is 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so is this row echelon form? Let's check. For first, if I write here, this is my leading element or below elements are 0. Yes, first condition satisfied. For second row, this is my leading element, below element is 0. Yes, second, this one is also satisfied. And for the third one, see, I have to write here 1. Okay, this is my leading element, this one is leading element, so this one should be my leading element. So here I have to interchange my third and fourth column also. I have to interchange my third and fourth column also. Then and only then it is row echelon form. Otherwise it is not in the row echelon form, right? Because my leading element must be 1. Srishti, I already explained very detailed. Please ask your doubt. So I go through accordingly. It is very simple. Every non-zero row is occur in the upper and every zero row is in below. And for every non-zero row, your first element is leading element and it must be 1. And the below element of leading element is all are 0. Below element of leading elements are all 0. So for each non-zero row, the leading element 1 appear the right means this one side, okay, front, and below any leading element 1 in the preceding row. So first, this is leading element, second one, this is leading element, and then we have to go like this, right? So in this case, this is our leading element. So we have to go like this. So this is not row echelon form, right? For the last case. Now, reduce row echelon form. In row echelon form, our leading element is 1 and below all elements in the leading element must be 0. But reduced row echelon form is what? Our leading element is 1 and upper and lower, all the elements, upper and lower, all the elements of the leading element must be 0. So a matrix A is said to be reduced row echelon form if each column that contains a leading element 1 in row echelon form of the matrix A has 0 everywhere else in that column. Understand? So in every column, if this is the leading element, then except the leading element, every number should be 0. Okay. So let's start example for the better understanding of this row echelon form. So suppose our question is find row echelon form. That is, this is our given question, right? So the solution is that here, what is my first rule? My first rule that for the first row, this element must be 1. This element, first element must be 1. So I am going to interchange row 1 with row 3. So this is known as operation. So my first operation is R13. Okay. So my equivalence matrix, that is, I'm going to interchange row 1 with row 3. So that is 1, 3, minus 1, 2. Second row, keep it the same. 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is third row. So 0, minus 1, 2, 3. And this is 3, 2, 4, 1. Right? So my first operation, that is, I'm interchanging first row with third row, right? Because I want my first leading element is 1. So I got my first leading element is 1, right? Now, what should I do? I have to do all below elements in the leading element must be 0. All below elements, the leading elements must be 0. For that, my next step, that is here, I'm going to write, I have to convert this 2 into the 0 and this 3 into the 0. That's why I need change in my second row, right? So for second row, what should I do? I write R2 minus. I multiply my leading element by 2, then subtract from these 2. So R2 minus 2R1 and R4. See, I want to convert this 3 into the 0. For that, I multiply this leading element with 3 and got the subtraction. So that is R4 minus 3R1. Please, student, it is really most important. Please try to understand it. Then I did two operation at a time. First in second row and the next one is fourth row. Second row, that is here R2. I want to convert 2 in the 0. That's why I multiply this 1 by 2 and then get subtraction. R for R4 because I want to convert this 3 into the 0. That's why I write here R4. Then I multiply this 1 by 3 and get the subtraction. Okay, so I'm starting the writing there. First row, keep it same. 1, 3, minus 1, 2, right? Now for the R2, as this operation, R2 is what? This 2 minus 2R1. 2 minus 2R1. So I have to multiply this R1 with 2. 2 minus 2. So 0. Here R2. R2 means 3. 3 minus 2 into R1. R1 means 6. Here 2 into 3. So 3 minus 6. That is minus 3. That is minus 3. Similarly for this one. R2. R2 is 4 minus 2. And what is my first row element? That is minus 1. So 4 minus minus plus. That is 6. And for the last one, 5 minus. This is 2 into 2. So 5 minus 4. So 1. Got it, students? I did here 2 minus 2 into 1. So I apply this operation R2 for the first element. For this one is second element 3. This one is for the third element and this one is for the fourth element. Okay. Then I put my third row, keep it same because there is already 1. There is already 0. Here already 0, right? So no need to do any operation for the third row. And for the fourth row, this operation is. For fourth row, I convert this 3 into the 0. So for the fourth row, what is my R? I am going to apply this operation R4 minus 3R1. So R4, so what is my element? 3 minus 3R1. R1 is what? 1. So 3 minus 3, 0, right? For the second element, 2 minus 3 into R1. R1 is here again 3. So 2 minus 9. So I have minus 7, right? And for the third one, 4 minus 3 into minus 1. Minus 1. So 4 plus 3. So that is 7. And for the last, 1 minus 3 into 2. So 1 minus 6. That is minus 5. Okay. So these are the operation. This operation I did for the second row and then this one operation I did for the last row. So any doubt, student? Any doubt, students, in this step? Please let me confirm in the chat box if you have any doubt. Please let me know if you have any doubt. It is really most important thing. Okay. Okay, good. Answers are coming that the students have no doubt. So it's really good. Okay. So these operations I do for converting the all elements below our leading element into the 0, right? Now I am going for the next column and that is, just a minute. Okay, no doubt. Okay. So first we did, students, we convert our all elements. We convert our all elements in the 0 below this leading element. Okay. Now we'll move. See, this is our leading element of the first row. Sorry, this is our leading element of first row, right? Now we'll move for the second column. For this step, for here, I have to convert this -3 into the 1 for the leading element. For that, I am interchanging my second row and third row. Okay, I'm going to interchange my second row and third row because I want my -3 into the form of leading element into the form of 1. So my next move is R23. R23 means I just interchange my second row with third row. So here 1, 3, -1, 2. By interchanging, here 0, -1, 2, 3. This is 0, -3, 6, 1. And last is keep it same, -7, 7 and -5. Right? Okay. So students, for first column, this is leading element. All below elements are 0. Now we'll move for the second column. This should be +1. Okay. But here is -1. So if I multiply my second row, by -1, then here my next operation is I multiply my second row with -1, right? -1. So what is my next matrix? That is 1, 3, -1, 2. Here by multiplying second row with -1, this is 0, 1, -2, -3. See, this is okay. I am multiplying my second row with -1. So this -1 is converted into the 1. This is converted into the -2 and this one is converted into the -3. So 0, 1, -2, -3. Here 0, -3, 6, 1. And this is 0, -7, 7 and -5, right? Okay. Now, what is our next move? Our next move is, this is our leading element for the second column. So we have to convert below elements in the 0. So below elements are what? Below elements are what? -3 and -7, right? So I'm going to apply the operation that is in third row and fourth row. That is for third row, here R3 plus 3R2. I'm going to multiply this second row with 3 and I'm going to add in the third row because this is -3. So if I multiply this one is with 3, so 3 minus 3 is 0. And same for the fourth row, that is here R4 plus 7R2, right? So my next here 1, first row keep it same, 1 minus 3 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 2. Second row also same, 1, 0, 1 minus 2 minus 3. But for the third row, I have to operation R3 plus 3R2. So R3, both are 0, so it is 0. In this case, R3 that is -3 plus 3R2. R2 is 1. So -3 plus 3 is 0. In this case, R3 plus 3R2, that is 6 plus 3 into -2. So this is again 0, right? And this is R3. So 1 plus 3 into -3. So this is -8. Similarly, for the fourth row, by doing this operation, so R4, here all are 0. R4 is -7 plus 7 into 1. So this is 0. Here 7 plus 7 into -2. So this one is -7. And in the last element, here -5 plus 7 into -3. So -20. Here, final answer is -21 minus 5, that is -26, right? Dhruti has one doubt. Is it necessary to exchange only row? Can we change column also? Yes, Dhruti, you can change column also. Okay. Okay, students. So in this case, for here, our second element is leading element and all below elements are 0. Okay. Now we'll move for the next. In third row, this element should be leading element, but it is 0. So we interchange our third and fourth row, right? So by interchanging third and fourth row, our next matrix is 1, 3, minus 1, 2. This is 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3. And by interchanging, see both are same. First and second is same. By interchanging third and fourth row, 0, 0, minus 7, minus 26 in the third row. 0, 0, minus 7, minus 26 in the third row. And our fourth row is 0, 0, 0 and minus 8, right? Now, it should be our leading element for the third column. So, I'm going to apply in the third row, that is minus 1 by 7. Third row with minus 1 by 7. So after doing this operation, what is my matrix? That is 1, 3, minus 1, 2, 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3. By dividing by 7 and by minus 7. So in third row, 0, 0, minus 7 by minus 7, that is 1. And this one is minus minus plus, so 26 by 7. And the fourth row, 0, 0, 0, minus 8, keep it same, right? So students, this is leading element. All below elements are 0 for the first column. This one is the leading element for the second column, and all below elements are 0. This one is the leading element in the third column, and below elements is 0, right? Now, for the fourth column, this one is my leading element, and I have to convert this leading element minus 8 into the 1. That's why I'm dividing this minus 8 by minus 8. So my last operation, that is minus 1 by 8 are 4. And here the equivalence operation, that is 1, 3, minus 1, 2. This is 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3, 0, 0, 1, 26 by 7. And here 0, 0, 0, 1, because by dividing by minus 8. So this is my row echelon form. Got it, students? This is my question. This is my question, right? This is my question. Find row echelon form of this matrix. And by doing leading element is 1, all below elements are 0. This is 1, all below elements are 0. For the next column, this one is 1 and below elements is 0. So this is row echelon form. Okay. So have you any doubt? Let me know in the chat box. Have you any doubt? Let me know in the chat box, students. Have you any doubt about the row echelon form? Please let me know in the chat box. Okay. So I conclude my today's lecture and we'll do more example for tomorrow, right? With another method. Okay. So we'll do. Students, please do practice by yourself as exams are near, but without practice,